Anyway, hello and welcome to another Who's That Anime?
It is finally time for us to move on from the likes of Golden Boy and the likes of Ghost Stories. And here we are, as you can see, as promised, brand new season, brand new series. This time we're going to be covering The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. I will get it eventually.
There's going to be plenty of episodes of this, so yeah. I'm not going for it.
It's the first time I've tried to say it out loud. I've just since watching it, so.
Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Suzumiya, even.
Yeah.
I passed Japanese class, honest.
I did not.
I did not.
Unsurprisingly.
Take the class.
Nope.
No.
I know people that did take Japanese as a module in their university and then went, oh, this is fucking hard.
Yeah, it's not based on Latin.
A whole other alphabet.
A whole other language.
It's not, Cyrillic alphabets.
Yeah.
Or not Cyrillic, but non-Latin. Yeah, tough times.
Cyrillic's alphabet. That famous Swedish DJ.
Wait, what?
What's his name? Skrillex?
Skrillex. I don't think he's Swedish. I think he's American.
Was he American? I thought he was Swedish.
Yeah. No.
Oh, well then.
There's a guy that died who I think was Swedish. He was a DJ.
There's a guy who died who you think was Swedish. I'm sure there was a guy who died, and he was a DJ.
I'm sure at one point that a Swedish DJ has passed, but I'm fairly sure there was a famous Swedish DJ or famous DJ potentially from that Nordic area who died. Or you're thinking of the Swedish House Mafia.
I don't know.
One of those. So, oh man. There was more preparation in watching this than I actually anticipated in the first place, because you suggested this as a thing, as a show in particular that had a bit of controversy around the enjoyment that people had of it in its second season.
Yes.
And also a complicated history of how it's being viewed. So there's the way it seems to have worked is there's the broadcast order, which is the order that they showed the episodes in on television for the first season, which is what we're doing now. And then there's the post-second season order, the chronological order, that kind of munges everything together and smooshes it into a nice, tidy package where it all makes more sense.
Certainly does. I'm watching it, and there's like references to other parts of the show, and you're like, what?
Yes, what indeed was my initial reaction. So I guess we should probably just jump right in. Um, we're going to be talking about a couple of episodes tonight. The first episode of which, the insanely titled "The Adventures of Mikuru Asahina," episode 00.
Yes. Uh,
Not even the titular character named in the episode.
yes. So she's the red-haired girl that you see in the bottom corner of the screen.
Yes, she is.
Uh, who,
She's younger than the rest of them, I think, right?
uh, yeah, I think she's a junior, I believe I said.
Yeah. Okay.
But then I'm not entirely sure about the purple hair one.
Oh, valid point.
I think she's
Yuki?
also. Yeah,
Yuki.
no, not
No,
Yuki Nato.
I thought it
She
was Yuki.
she gets called Yuki in this episode, but then they also slip and call her. I think it maybe is Yuki with
Trying to
Anato or something.
find the character names because that would be useful. Because I know that like obviously there's Asahina, there's Harui, there's Kyun, who's the guy there, and I'm sure her name is Yuki, but I could be wrong.
Uh, possibly. Um. Anyway, so yeah, so this episode is
Yes.
kind of done as I suppose like a weird anime kind of like movie thing.
It's a little bit like a documentary about a homemade movie.
Yeah, because you got Keon,
Kyon. Yep.
yeah,
Kyun.
who's the guy in the picture there.
Yeah. He's
Not,
the love interest.
yeah, he's certainly the one that's piqued titular characters Haruhi Suzumiya interest somehow.
And also Asahina.
Yeah, yeah, and also her. Um, and it's all a big giant of mess, but that's something we'll discuss next episode.
Uh
Anyway,
let me tell you. I started watching this in English because I told you I was like, I'm gonna watch this now.
uh-huh.
I'm gonna tell you how I'm watching it so you can watch it the same way. And we're watching the English dub and we're watching the uncut release and we're watching it in the broadcast order, so we have the right episodes. And I started it, and then it was the guy, the narrator, narrating arbitrarily over the over the scenes. And of course, you have Mikuru in a bunny outfit, essentially,
Hmm.
like bouncing around and trying to sell stuff in a mall or like attract attention. But the narrator's like, so she's like a battle waitress from the future. Like, wait, what? What am I watching, Colin? And I was like, wait a minute, that seems wrong. I bet that they've used the English dub to retroactively add some stuff in here to try and provide a semblance of understanding if you were to perhaps watch the broadcast order as the insane people might. And then, of course, I'm like, okay, I'm going to switch this to Japanese just to be sure that and then I read the subtitles, and the subtitles are almost the same. And it's like, nope, this is just madness from the start. Okay, that's fine. Back to English. Started watching again.
Well, you did say to watch it in the broadcast order. I didn't
I
watch it in the
did,
broadcast order. It's my first time
but
watching it.
I think that this is the best way to watch it because I think it's going to provide the most confusion.
Yes, and also later on, I suppose the most realization of what's happening. Anyway, so
Yes.
uh, this this one is basically based around the team filming uh amateur film.
A
Uh,
team you don't know exists.
Yeah, at all. I'm sure they mentioned. Did they mention it in this episode? SOS
I,
Brigade?
I, I don't remember.
I think they
It's all
do.
a blur.
And
She
so
mentions it at the end of the episode when they're airing it.
oh yeah, yeah. Anyway, so there's a it's very poor acting because none of them are really actors. And it's like, oh no, what have you done?
It's
It's almost as
I
bad
there was
bad acting
oh,
as in Ghost Stories.
I legitimately was not super clear that it was a home video to start with. So when there was the acting, I was watching it. I was like, "Is that how these characters are read in this show?" It's like I don't know about this. This seems this seems bad. Please stop. Don't do that. What are you doing here? It's just really difficult to listen to.
Oh,
But thank God, it's just terrible acting.
just terrible acting because it's those characters being actors in a film. Anyway, so basically, I think the story is a red-haired girl because I'm never going to remember names.
It's Mikuru,
Mikuru, is a time traveling battle waitress is
time
the
traveling
term.
battle waitress.
But when they first introduced this in this episode, they talk about how she's in a bunny girl outfit and she's doing
Yes.
part-time jobs to promote the local rundown mall, essentially. And she's promoting things like 50% off cabbages
Yes.
at the start.
Please, who's coming by from this store? Because I am aware that Q2 sales are down 80% this year, and that is bad. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
that's
really, really specific advertising.
at that point she leans forward and reads off a notepad when she's reading that one. And that was
She
for the
does.
moment. Anyway,
So yeah, that's I suppose as it is. But I suppose the whole kind of crux of it is she's doing these advertising and then kind of going home and sleeping in the stationery, like an apartment above the stationery shop.
uh, it was a small room behind the stationery shop.
Behind the
Was
stationery shop. She's like living in there,
yeah,
uh, and I really loved the fact that she's in this bunny costume and comes home. And it's like, and now she's going to like, get changed into something more comfortable and like, relax for a bit. And then I'm like, this is just getting a bit weird right out the gate here. But then I really appreciated the fact that they stopped recording the camera and it went to a blue screen and comes back and she's great, like she's changed. That was very funny to me.
and then the narrator goes, "Don't even ask if we had the footage of her getting changed."
You don't. The camera was off. I
You don't.
promise.
Yeah,
That was actually very funny. Actually, the narrator was quite good in general. I believe is the narrator Kyun.
yeah. It's Kieran is narrating
Yeah.
this. Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
he's the cameraman and the I think general dog's body of the whole club. To be honest.
Yeah, yeah, he is, isn't he?
Uh,
Um, but
uh,
yeah, then we kind of they're basically going to have now. She's got to fight uh, the Yuki, who is an evil witch.
yes, an evil witch alien,
Yes, an
to
evil witch alien.
to be more precise.
She has the power of the wand.
Yeah,
She
some
can just
magical lava wand or something.
yeah,
And she
and
just
the
waves
fact
it about like, going, bing, bing, bing,
oh, it's so good.
with
And like the
so much
gonna
enthusiasm.
do gonna do my moves now, and like pointing at her eye and things like that, and kind of going pow, pow,
Uh,
pow. It's
yeah.
just really dumb and really great. Brilliant amateur footage.
Mhm.
Um, and sort of like there are scenes around. I think it's kind of constantly referenced by the narrator that uh, you know nobody like what's going on? Why is this happening? Like this wasn't happening before. Like, why is all of a sudden this changed? Like, why is this a thing now? Are they friends now? What's happening? This has changed. It's changed from a battle movie, and now it's like there's a love triangle, and he just like seems really indignant about why the movie, the home video is changing so much, and also the fact that he's angry about it is making me go like, wait, if you're angry about it and you don't know what's happening, what chance do I stand of understanding any of this?
I think
It's
that,
all very confusing.
yeah. Well, they started the big battle, and what happened? Like bang her head or something, and uh,
Mikuru,
Mayuki,
yeah,
Mikuru, banged her head or something in the first fight, so she had like a sore eye and stuff. She's pretty clumsy. uh, I mean, the
oh
whole point of it is that she's essentially looking after some unhidden Esper person, uh,
yes,
and she's spying on him, but looks like some crazy crush.
yep,
Uh, 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 and the evil witch wants to capture him and use his powers for evil or something.
that's right. Yeah, we should also mention that the witch, uh, Yuki, has a cat.
She does have a
Um,
cat.
and there is a scene, and I don't understand how this works, or if it was real or something. Like, because it could really be anything at this point, where the cat starts talking.
Yes, yes, it does. But that's
Right? Does the cat start talking? Because she then jokingly like prods the cat and goes, "As you can see, I am also a ventriloquist now."
uh, yes. I think the cat actually talks,
Okay.
but I don't know if that cat's in the rest of the anime. It's the only time we've seen it.
How do we like? I can't believe that we went from one anime with a talking cat to another one.
There's always a talking cat in animes.
It's so ridiculous. But I actually burst out laughing at the bit where she's like, "I am also a ventriloquist." That I don't know why that made me laugh so much, but it's like, oh, we don't have any time to reshoot this. I just need to like kind of roll with the punches here, make my excuses. you know. Also, in that same fight scene, they're making such a commotion because they're on the school roof to have this fight scene. That all like the teachers appear and like take them out. It's like, please pay no attention to those people rushing in right now. And then it cuts and goes back to the fight scene again.
Yeah, yeah. The fireworks is they set fireworks up around. Like, what's going on here?
It was the fireworks. I forgot about that. And the great part about the fireworks, of course, this as well is that they they scare the crap out of Mikuru as well. So she's like basically on the ground crying, and it's supposed to be like her power. Oh, it's just it's all so terrible, like so terrible, but made me laugh constantly. Um, and I
Yeah,
suppose that the whole crux of the episode is essentially just them filming this nonsense. Well, you think it's nonsense. It might be nonsense. Some of it might not. Some of it may not be. But also, you wouldn't know yet.
yeah. No. Um, yeah. So they do that. Basically, and then at the end, essentially find out you get the credits start to roll. And it's not the credits for the show, but like the credits for the movie, and you get like all these people are fictionists, blah blah blah, except for the shopkeepers. That's bona fide commercials. They go to these shops.
I legitimately thought that was the credits to the episode. So I picked up my phone and started looking at something, like a message that had come through. And then, like, I'm reading it and I'm like, why am I hearing talking? Like, I didn't start the next episode. It's like, crap. I have to rewind to this now.
Yeah, and Hiru Suzumiya, Suzumiya, Suzumaya,
Harui.
uh,
Harui.
Haru, yeah.
Yeah.
Stand up. I literally can't pronounce names. Don't worry, it's not just Japanese names, it's English names too. So don't worry about that.
I was going to say, is also, we just struggle with words in general. So, like, it's fine.
Yeah, well, yeah, I certainly do. What? How you spell what? W-A-W-T?
Just
What's
WT.
W-T? W-D? Uh, anyway, yeah, so she stands up and goes like, "That's awesome!" Where Keon's sitting in the back goes, "You actually going to show that at the festival?
Please,
Please
please don't
don't.
show this. Please.
Please don't, no!"
And of course, you've got Itsuki sitting there going, "It's like, I think it's great." And you're like, "Oh, why does this guy think this is great?"
Because he agrees with everything.
He does. And then, I guess like Yuki and Mikuru are sort of not really either way about it. But Kyon's very upset.
Yeah. That's because I think that's his thing.
As he would be. But then she's like, "Yes, excellent. I better start like calling, film festivals and all this stuff." And it's like, and like producers and advertisers, and it's like, what the hell is going on here? And then the episode just kind of ends with her being really pleased with herself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was the perfect way that this show could have introduced itself to me, because I was so confused,
All
but
right.
so excited to sort of go. It's like, okay, I'll watch another one. Let's do this. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Good show, yeah.
I genuinely enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It's
you
made
know.
such a refreshing change.
Oh, what? Like, actually been watching all the other shit that we watched?
Yeah, like after, like I know that like the whole point of this is to watch stuff that can be a bit more difficult, and I know we're going to get there eventually with this, where it maybe gets less good. But it was really interesting to watch something and enjoy it.
No, that's not the whole point of this podcast. You ready? Just
We'll
hate,
get there.
hate.
We're just setting ourselves up for a big fall. Don't worry. It's
That
it's fine. So how would you rate that one?
one. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't want to rate it too high because it was too high. I'm going to go. I'm going to go a 7.
It's pretty good. I was gonna give it a 7, but I think I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
But one thing actually that I would like to mention is that whole episode until the very end is shot in 4:3,
Yes, because it's
and then it changes at the end to 16:9 aspect ratio.
because
But I didn't notice that the end of the episode was in 16:9. I wasn't paying it. I was too absorbed with like what the fuck was going on. And then the next episode started, because it still showed you the outro credits. It was a different outro, which was in 4:3. But then when it's the next episode starts, it's in 16:9, and the regular intro that I hadn't seen before. It's like, wait, is this just going to be like this now? It's like, oh, thank God. I thought it was weird that something came out in 2006 and was still in 4:3.
yeah, well,
How odd.
it's simulating that was recorded on a camera.
Yeah,
There's
and
probably
that's the thing
blackmail
is,
or someone.
but I guess like when you watch like older anime and stuff like that, it only just occurred to me at that point where it was like, oh yeah, wait, that was because it was like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
like creative and interesting and very confusing, quite funny. So I'm interested. I'm
that's good.
interested for sure.
He's on board. It's good. One thing I'll also mention, did you not notice like the kind of like color depreciation in it would be the best time.
Yes, like the
So
sort of like film grain effect over the whole
yeah,
episode. It
yeah,
was it was difficult to tell that was, again, like when you're watching something from 2006, you don't know the budget, you don't know anything like that. So I was just like, maybe this is just how it looks. And then of course, like all of a sudden becomes really clean lines and really bright and vibrant colors, and it's like, oh, this looks very different.
yeah, yeah. So it's they put some effort, put lots of effort into pulling off the effect on it. Good,
It was pretty,
high budget.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I was
Yeah,
definitely excited to move on to the next episode, which I suppose we can do. And this This is where the order of the episodes we're already mixed up here, but we're now starting, I think, where the chronological order starts.
Yeah, well, it's
Um,
certainly the start of the story, because
yeah, so this is the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Part 1, Episode 2.
yes, because that's how they're
So,
showing it back in the day.
God bless them. We're just showing. It's like, how should we show this? It's like, what would hurt people's brains the most? Well, what if we showed them an episode that wasn't about the main character
I didn't
and
have
then
her in it.
switched it? Yeah, and didn't have her in it until the very end.
Oh, actually, no. I'm sure she shouted at Mikuru during the film. Because
Yeah,
it
but you
was
didn't know it was her.
no, that's
You
true.
didn't know it was her. So in this episode, this kind of starts off with Kyun uh, walking to school, I think.
Yeah, he's basically talking about going to high school or something now. He's moved from middle school and is going to high school. And he's talked
That's
about
right.
how he didn't believe in Santa Claus from a very early age and stopped believing in S-birds and aliens and time travelers quite soon after that.
Very specifically,
Yeah, he's like, I
extreme
don't,
things. I don't believe in aliens, time travelers, or espers,
or Santa Claus.
or Santa Claus. He's very, very specific about that part.
Yeah. Um, and then he gets into the class and he introduces himself the first day going, I'm this person, I'm great, I don't believe in these stuff. And then, who's hurrah, hurrah, oh god, Jesus.
Harui.
Harui.
It's
I'm
written
just,
on the screen.
yeah, I mean,
That one,
that's,
you can get that one.
I, yes, Harui,
Harui.
Harui. Haruhi. I'm learning, guys, I'm learning. Learn how to
Some
read.
like sort of those like acting things with the hoo hoo ha ha he hoo ha
Ha,
lion face lion face lemon face.
yes. Wait, I feel like that came from um, Incredible Kimmy Schmidt or whatever it's called.
I have never watched that, but I know of it.
And it's the actor person in it. He was in the live action of The Lion King or something. Sure.
Oh really?
Wow. He
You
might
know,
be.
join us for our new podcast on the something of the unstoppable, unbelievable.
Something of Kimmy Schmidt? Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, that's our new podcast. We'll probably do that. We probably will.
No, probably won't. But there is an interactive one. I haven't watched it. Anyway, so moving back into anime world. Yeah, so what's her name introduces herself and goes, "Hey, I believe in everything, all these things, and everything else is boring. So don't talk to me unless you're either an alien, time traveler, or an esper."
Please come to me with your mysteries.
Very much. She just wants to be in the Scooby Gang, man.
She does. Like, there's a heavy Scooby Doo vibe about the SOS Brigade.
I mean, all we need is like a talking dog, but I suppose we got a talking cat.
Talking cat.
Well,
So, a million miles away, I guess.
possibly. It's not weird yet. Um,
So yeah, it sort of transpires, I think, that uh, he doesn't know her, but there are other people who he now knows who know her,
yeah, from
and yeah, she's weird.
previous skills. Don't go
Yeah,
after her, man. She
yep,
dumps all
don't
the
yeah, don't
guys.
yeah. She's had relationships that have lasted 5 seconds.
Yeah, which is probably from that guy. I think it was his. Because they flash back to that scene. It's like
That's right. She
what's
can't say no apparently to going out with people, but then can break up with them very quickly.
yeah, because she's born, and then so Keon like talks to her and notices that she changed her hairstyle every day
Yes,
and has color coded patterns for every day.
for each day of the week. Yeah,
Yeah, and they'd have some conversation about that, which kind of broke the ice, I suppose. And then the next day, she kind of like stops with all that and has cut her hair.
Yeah, she like just decides she's now bored with the idea of changing her hair, and maybe angry that he's even brought it up.
Possibly.
So then
Um,
decides to cut her hair.
yeah, but then all the classmates says, "Oh wow, you managed to talk to her. That's great. You're going to be our go-between." And he's like,
That's right.
"No."
One of the girls is like, "It's so good because we should all be friends because we're in the same class, and but none of us can really talk to her. So I guess if we ever need to tell her something, we'll just tell you."
Yeah, pretty much. And then she runs away, talks to her friend, and they all just laugh.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh. And
Bad
then
times.
this episode, the next episode, they change seating arrangements.
Um, I think that might be the next episode, but he basically sits in front of her, and it doesn't. I suppose even in that regard, he sits. Oh no, wait, that's at the end of this episode, because she's really bored, and they've now moved seats to, like, they were in the center of the classroom with him sitting in front and like her sitting at the back, behind him, and then they've moved basically in the same formation to the window, where she's now like, he's kind of sort of in his own head thinking about things, and then just like gets grabbed by the back of the head and rammed down onto the desk, and she's like, I've got it, I know what we should do, we should start a club.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's,
She's a lunatic.
yes, yes, she is.
Oh, we
Uh,
should also mention she's really good at sports and basically anything she puts her hand to. Like she's incredibly intelligent, very sporty, but never sticks to anything.
yes. Well, she got bored of all the clubs. She tried to join all the clubs, and
Yep,
I don't think
gave
she
up.
last a day joining all the clubs in one day or something.
No,
Um,
so now she's going to make her own club.
yeah, because of Keon's idea of saying
Yeah,
great minds who get bored of things should get to create this stuff. It's like,
that's
you're
right.
right. And then after ramming his back of his head into the corner of his desk. Also, Keon's really happy of moving to that spot. He's like, yes, I'm getting away from her.
That's right.
And it's a sweet desk because it's next to the window. I get to look out the window.
Yep. But then he gets murdered, sort of.
Yes, more than once. Um, so she creates a club and then ropes him into doing that. Now, is that the same episode?
I think sort of we end this episode, I think, with her saying it's like, now all we need is members. And like she is like, where are we going to have the club? I think is maybe the last conversation we have in this one. And she's like, look here, uh, there's this place. We're going to have the club here. It's like, this says the literature club. Yes, but there's nobody in it except this one person who's just sitting reading books, and it's Yuki.
Yeah. And she doesn't care.
She's just like, he's like, so you don't care if we come in here and like have another club? No, not at all. Okay. So I think we kind of end on that point of realizing that they now need members. They need 5 members, I think. So that's
Yeah.
the ruling. And then the next episode, I think, is where we start to get into the formation of the club and the naming scheme and everything like that.
Yeah, it kind of runs together. This.
It
So,
it, it does, yeah.
but then I suppose that's kind of the point of these episodes.
Yep.
Until the next
So
other one.
how do you rate that one?
As a starting episode, it kind of explains what's happening in the sense and how the two characters met and how they form in a club out of like not too much protest but like confusion mainly for on Keon's side.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was entertaining.
Yep.
I can't really fault it. It's on par, and I don't know. I don't know if it's better or worse. I'll go with 6. I'll go with 6.
I think I'm going to stay the course and agree with you there. I think it's also a 6.
Yeah.
It definitely continued its level of amusement to me. It's pretty funny, and it's just sort of building up to it as well. Like it's trying to get to a place, so there's some like, it's going to get there eventually. But yeah, I think it's pretty funny. It's quite clever. Very aware of itself, I think, as well. Like in a lot of the jokes it makes, and I like the fact that Kyon is such a just sort of just a bit of a downer, but in a way I really like. Like he's
Yeah.
can't be bothered with all this, but also so much so can't be bothered with it that he can't be bothered fighting it, and I love that. it's it's just a whole new level of apathy that I wasn't prepared for in this.
Yeah. I still think we maybe cut it short.
You think?
Yeah.
It's really difficult to tell because I really don't want to get into the next episode just yet because there's some stuff that happens in that we're going to have to talk about.
Uh, yes, there is. Well, I think really by the end of it, I'm sure they had like 4 members in the club.
Did they
Kyon,
introduce her? Did they introduce Miraku?
yeah, because I think she's essentially got
Mikuru, sorry.
rounded up in this episode, saying, "Oh yeah, I always see her kind of spacing out in this place." So yeah, she's joined the club, type thing, and then
That's right.
sexually assaults her by squeezing her breasts, and then
She
asks
does.
Kyon to do that. Do you want to feel
Yeah,
them? And he's like, "No."
that's right. Because it's like, look, because she's younger than me and also has much more ample bosom.
Yeah,
And it,
sure.
it's it's just yeah, like this is the beginning of Harui, the total sociopath. Um, it's it's like I was watching that and I was like, this is not great. This is
Yeah.
really terrible. What's happening here? But okay, I guess. And then yeah, then the next episode happens and we can talk about that.
Yes, let's talk about that one. Uh, next time on Who's That
Yep.
Anime?
We'll be
Uh,
moving on to do another couple of episodes. We're going to try and speed up the release of this one because we appreciate that this is like a 24 episode season, a 28 episode season rather. So it would take us quite a while to go through, even if we were doing 4 episodes at a time. So we
yeah,
figured that it might be a good idea to sort of release episodes on a quicker cadence. We'll probably speed up to doing 2 episodes a week, of 2 episodes at a time to try and get through this. Not because it's bad, but just because why let people make people wait around for weeks on end to see it right through. So we
yeah,
will see. You can get this podcast. If you're watching the video, you can get this as a podcast on anchor.fm, and you can find us as Who's That Anime. If you're listening to this as a podcast, you can watch us on twitch.tv/couchfuel, where we will be showing these episodes,
mhm,
sometimes live, sometimes pre-recorded. Other than that, Colin, you play some video games on Couchfuel at twitch.tv/couchfuel, normally on a Monday.
yeah. Haven't done it in a while, but could be on it playing a video game. Probably
River
rival
City Girls.
River City Girls. Yeah, yeah, just River City Girls, isn't it?
Yeah, and then there's obviously like a back catalogue of different videos there as well that you can watch, different games, different things. We have a Facebook group, our Facebook page rather, where you can come and join us. We post about new episodes, share stupid anime memes and stuff like that. That's kind of its purpose. And that's pretty much us.
Yeah, we'll be keeping it real over the next couple of weeks with the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Maya.
Yeah!
Hey, I got to say at the end of this episode, how about that, guys?
Yep.
I learned.
Nice. It only
I've
took
learned.
one episode as well, so that's good
Wow.
going.
Wait until next week.
So we'll be back to Harry Suzuki in no time.
Harry Suzuki. You're a wizard, Harry.
Don't spoil it. Like,
You're a wizard.
okay, we'll be back soon with another episode of Who's That Anime? Following up with another 2 episodes of The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Yay.
We'll see you next time. I did it.
Yeah, you did it. All right.
小泉君、いつき君をあなたのおまり通りにはしばさせて。私が守ってみせます。
説明しよう。このありがちなデザインの棒はスターリング・インフェルノとかいう魔法のステッキなのだ。